So I was staring at my screensaver here on my TV, and it has this explosion particle animation, and it's really mesmerizing. It's really cool. And I decided somebody must have developed this. I wonder if I could do this as well. And so I went on and figured out how to do it, and I thought it might be an opportunity to show you guys how I went through that as well. So check it out, and here we go. So what we're going to use for this development is a library called P5.js for JavaScript. And they have a web editor here, so you can start messing right away without even downloading or using an editor. That will just allow us to mess with the canvas and draw some stuff on the canvas. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing we're going to need here is a way to draw a particle. So I can do that using a point. And a point can be used like this. First we put the stroke, then we put a stroke weight, meaning the thickness of the stroke. The stroke would be the color, and then we put a position of the point here. And if you don't know where I'm getting these codes, these are all documented in the P5.js references. So go ahead and check that out and see how you would do certain things. Now let's change the background here to black because it's harder to see the particle, so that's better. And then the next thing we're going to do is we need to be able to generate a lot of particles. So it's best to do this as a class. So we're going to go ahead and try to create a class for this by going here, add file, and type in the name. I'm going to call it particle, and then inside the particle I'm going to put particle. It's going to have a constructor, and we're going to specify the position of that particle. And in P5 there is a function called create vector, which allows us to bundle the position x and y. And I'm just going to use that for the position. Now, in order to see the particle, we're going to have a draw function for that particle. And we're just going to take what we wrote here. And then we're going to go ahead and put that in the draw function of the particle. So let's try that out. Also, first thing that we need to do in order to make sure that the particle is being seen is we need to add it to the HTML. And so now let's try to create the particle and see if we can generate the same result as we did before. New particle here. I'm just going to put a random position, 200 by 200, and I'm just going to draw that to the screen and play that. Let's say we change it to 300 by 300. I should expect it to move. There we go. So that's working perfectly now. Next, let's see if we can add some velocity on this particle. Now, if you remember the physics that you've taken in school, velocity added to a position changes the position. So then you can simulate movement using that. So let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to go ahead and add a velocity here. And I'm going to put an update function, make that a separate function. And then I'm going to have that position accumulate the velocity that we get. So this one should go to the right. Let's check that out. Actually, well, we need to put it in the draw function, so we're updating it per frame. Let's check that out. There we go. Now we're seeing it move. Let's see and do a sanity check here and try and change the position. There we go. That still works. Okay, next we're gonna go ahead and right now it's moving in one direction. It's always going to move to the right, but that's because we're hard coding it. So let's go ahead and try to make that a random direction every time you create a new particle. And that looks pretty good. The next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that it slows down over time. Right now it's just a constant speed, so we're going to add a dampening variable here. Dampening meaning that the velocity will become less as it updates. So you'll see how we would do that here. I'm just going to make that a 98, meaning that it's just going to have a 98% of the velocity per frame, so you'll see it slow down. There we go. We can see here that every time it moves fast and then it slows down, and that should be true for every particle. The next thing I want to fix is the fact that it's always white. I want to make that random color because in the example those are all random color. So let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. We see all the particles change color every time. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to fade the color as time goes on. So in an example, they don't all just stay bright forever. They fade, and so that's what we're going to do next. Now, kind of like the velocity dampens, this will also ensure that the alpha dampens for each frame, so it becomes 90% less per frame. There we go. That looks perfect. And so now we're ready to make the explosion. So I'm going to go ahead and create another file here and then add it to the HTML just like we did before, and make a class called explosion. So I'm just going to do that quickly here because we've already done that before. Now the explosion is composed of two things, a lot of particles and a starting point. So I'm going to make the starting point just like before, a random point in space. And then I'm going to store the particles in an array. So I'm going to do that here in the constructor. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a bunch of particles. I'm going to start off with 100 just to test it out, and then we'll see how it works from there. So as we loop through for each 100 eyes, we're going to go ahead and add that particle into the particles list. Now it's important to start them all into the point of initial position. That way each particle start at that point and they move outward from there. And so this of course is going to have an update function and a draw function, and the update function basically just updates every single particle, and so is the draw function. Actually, midway through, I realized that I could just put them all into one function so I don't have to iterate twice. So now let's see it in action. And let's just go ahead and change this from particle to explosion, because now we're interested in explosions. And change that, and in the class being in the explosion object. And so let's go ahead and see. There we go. So that's a ugly version of the thing. We'll tweak it to make it prettier, but as far as it goes, that is pretty much the basic foundation of it. Now let's just add a counter here to keep it going every time it reaches 1,000 counts. That way we'll see the explosion over and over again, just like the example. Now, there's a few tweaks that I want to make here. First of all, the particles are a little too big. The stroke weight of 10 might be a little too thick. So we're going to go ahead and change that into something a little bit more reasonable, maybe like 3. There we go. This is looking pretty good. One thing that you'll notice here is that it looks a little bit square if I increase the particle number to, say, 1,000. And you can see that it's very square. So we're going to change that. Now, the reason why that happens is because it's a vector 5 all the time, but vector 5 in a diagonal is bigger than vector 5, 0. So that's why if we're going to scale it, if we see that it's over the magnitude of scale 5, then I want to just lessen that into something less. In this case, I want just make it 5. And the way that can be done is to just multiply it by the scale that you want divided by the magnitude. There we go. We've made explosions, and they're very nice, colorful explosions. And yeah, just like what they have on the screensaver. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you all for watching. If you like these types of videos, consider subscribing. I make videos on game devs and full stack development. So if you subscribe, then you won't miss a video. Thank you, and see you next time.